Okay, so these are instructions for doing the Module 7 assignment, Comprehension Think Aloud. So basically what you're doing is you're creating a lesson plan, a Think Aloud lesson plan for a comprehension strategy. You're not teaching this to the students in your mentor classroom. You're just creating the lesson plan and you're going to be teaching it to your classmates. So that means you have to have the actual book available to teach it with your classmates, the paperback book. So you click the planner, and here's the planner here. And you are going to, I have two open, you are going to find the standards for your grade level. So if, let's pretend I am in a kindergarten classroom, that's my, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to go to kindergarten, reading literature, kindergarten, and I'm going to say, okay, which standard am I going to, which comprehension standard, right, am I going to teach the students? So I want to teach the, this one, right? Let's say I want to do this one. With prompting and support, describe the relationship between illustrations. So I'm going to copy that one, and then I'm going to put it into my lesson plan, okay? So now I have my standard, then I'm going to create, and then I need to think, right, what book am I going to use? So if I go back to the assignment, it says you need to choose a book that's appropriate, right? So if I'm choosing to do, with prompting support, describe the relationship between illustrations and the story in which they appear, right? Then the book I need to choose needs to kind of go with this to help me. So then I think, I'm going to choose just an example, like here, materials, right? I can put like book, let's say I'm just going to do The Very Hungry Caterpillar. So now I picked my book. So now I picked my book. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. So this book goes with my standard. So if you need help choosing a book, you can click this link and it gives you information on, how to choose a book. But essentially what I would say is choose a book that matches the standard of your lesson. So after that, right, so then you are going to do the standards. You choose a book that matches the standards. You need to click this article and read the article in order to understand more about the gradual release of responsibility and to understand more about think alouds. And then you are going to make sure that you make your lesson relevant and age appropriate for the grade you're working with. So let's say, again, I'm working with kindergarten. So I chose an appropriate book for kindergarten, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. I chose a kindergarten standard. I'm going to make my objective. And again, make sure it's a book you actually have handy that you can use because you're going to be teaching this to your classmates. So subject kinder, it's comprehension think aloud. So basically, again, you're using class size, let's say 20, or there's 20 kids in the class, but we're just doing it for our classmates, not for we're doing it for each other, not for the students that are actually there. And you want to think, right, how are you teaching comprehension using a think aloud and using that book that you chose? So I chose The Very Hungry Caterpillar, right? So then I'm going to put for my objectives, students will be able to describe the relationship between illustrations and the story and the text in the book The Very Hungry Caterpillar, right? And then I need to say, okay, what is the comprehension strategy that I'm going to use? So now this is where the article, again, this is where the article comes in to help you to understand like the comprehension strategy that you're going to use. And then here you have the text you're going to use. So I have the very hungry caterpillar. That's what I'm going to use to help me. And then here I'm going to do, okay, how am I going to model it for the students, right? What am I going to say to model it for the students? So remember the I do portion, you are not, the students are not talking, right? It's your show. You are modeling it for them explicitly. So what are you going to say to explicitly model your objective? Then what are you going to do together? And then the you do, how are the students going to do it on their own? So that's essentially how you do this. Again, it's a comprehension think aloud. So you are teaching a comprehension strategy for the students using an appropriate book for their grade level and that matches your standard that you chose.